Good evening, folks, or whatever godforsaken hour this is in your time zone. We have breaking news from South Florida, where a naked maniac decides that the best way to bless someone's home is with his bare ass and a pile of fresh crap right on the patio. Yeah, you heard that right. This genius breaks into a quiet Pinecrest apartment, buck naked as the day he was born. And instead of grabbing the TV or the silverware, he treats the place like his personal porta-potty exhibit. We're talking a full-on fecal art installation smeared across the outdoor furniture, the kind of stench that lingers like regret after a bad burrito. The cops show up, and there it is, steaming under the Florida sun, probably drawing flies faster than a barbecue invite. But wait, it gets better or worse, depending on your tolerance for human stupidity. This intruder doesn't just drop and dash. Oh no, he grabs a marker or whatever Sharpie he fished from his imaginary pocket and scrawls "Blessed and Drugs" across the sliding glass door. Blessed and drugs. What the hell does that even mean? Is this some twisted mantra from a cult that worships bath salts? Or did he just run out of syllables mid-high? Picture the homeowner sliding open that door the next morning, coffee in hand, only to be hit with the reek of unwashed freedom fighter and a message that reads like a stoner's haiku gone wrong. The patio's a war zone of footprints and deposits. The door's tagged like a bad graffiti tag at a rave nobody invited. Neighbors are peeking over fences, whispering, was it a protest, a ritual, or just Tuesday in Miami? Let's talk about the getaway. This nude philosopher bolts from the scene without a stitch on, vanishing into the humid night like a ghost who forgot his sheet. No car, no clothes, just pure, unadulterated chaos trailing behind him. Meanwhile, the apartment's security cam catches a blurry shadow, probably him mooning the lens on his way out, while the poor residents calling 911, screaming about a biblical plague in their backyard. Cops swarm the place, hazmat suits optional, scraping up evidence that's more biohazard than burglary. And get this, the feces. Lab tests later confirm it's human, fresh, and loaded with whatever cocktail of substances this guy was riding. Blessed my ass, more like cursed with a side of E. coli. 9 whole days pass. 9 days. The guy's out there, presumably still naked or scavenging for fig leaves, while Pinecrest turns into a neighborhood watch paranoia fest. Everyone's locking doors double time, installing cameras that could spot a gnat at 50 paces, and the local bodega's fresh out of air fresheners. Hypothetically, imagine the intruder's week, dodging traffic in his birthday suit, explaining to confused joggers that he's on a spiritual quest involving public defecation. Or maybe he's crashing at a buddy's, borrowing sweatpants that smell like regret, all while the cops are piecing together fingerprints from the door smudged, of course, because who washes their hands after that kind of blessing? The tension builds like a fart in an elevator. Residents are side-eyeing every bare-chested tourist, wondering if the drugs have worn off or if round two's incoming. The capture. 9 days later, SWAT rolls up to some rundown motel off the highway, where our heroes hold up, finely clothed but reeking of 9 days' worth of poor life choices. He's munching on vending machine chips, surrounded by empty baggies that scream the drugs part of the equation. Cops bust in, taser's hot, and he's like, "What? I was just spreading the good word." The good word being a felony burglary charge slapped on him faster than you can say probation violation. Turns out, this wasn't his first rodeo. Prior arrests for similar naked escapades. Because why learn from mistakes when you can double down on delusion? The courtroom's going to be a circus judge banging the gavel while trying not to gag at the case file photos. Dig into the motive, or lack thereof. Sources say he claimed it was a spiritual awakening, triggered by whatever hallucinogen turned his brain to mush. Blessed in drugs, hell, if that's enlightenment, sign me up for the dark ages. The apartment owner? Traumatized, scrubbing that patio with industrial bleach till it shines. But the smell? It's etched into their soul now, a permanent reminder that privacy is just a sliding door away from anarchy. And the scrawl on the glass? They had to replace the whole damn thing, because no amount of Windex erases that kind of prophecy. Meanwhile, the intruder's in custody, probably preaching to his cellmate about the virtues of bare-ass evangelism, while the jail shrink wonders if it's schizophrenia or just South Florida's humidity-melting minds. In the end, one man's blessing is another's felony, proving once again that the line between divine inspiration and deranged bullshit is thinner than a naked intruder's alibi. Stay tuned, because if this is the warm-up, the next story's bound to make you question locking your doors or your sanity. And if that last tale of bare-ass blessings didn't convince you the world's gone full tilt, Buckle up for Tampa's latest symphony of stupidity, where a luxury car goes up in flames and drags a whole weed empire down with it. Picture downtown Tampa at rush hour, the air thick with that salty Gulf humidity, when, bam, a sleek BMW sedan erupts into a fireball right in the heart of the city, belching black smoke like it's auditioning for the apocalypse. We're talking a 29-year-old suspect behind the wheel, or what was left of it, as flames lick the undercarriage and tires melt into gooey puddles on the asphalt. Sirens wail, bystanders scatter like roaches under a kitchen light, and the whole scene smells like burnt rubber mixed with overpriced leather because nothing says high life, like torching your ride in broad daylight. Cops roll up faster than you can say insurance fraud, only to find this genius not fleeing the inferno but rummaging through the glove box amid the chaos. Tampa PD's piecing it together quick. Turns out the fire started from some half-assed electrical short, probably sparked by whatever jury-rigged setup he had for his mobile dispensary. The car's a rolling testament to poor decisions, ashtrays overflowing with roaches, the dashboard sticky with residue that screams, "I thought ventilation was for windows, not wiring." Witnesses call in frantic, phones lighting up the switchboard with reports of a madman in a blaze, and meanwhile our suspect's coughing up smoke, eyes bloodshot, probably wondering if the flames are just the munchies manifesting. Because when you've got a Beamer worth more than most folks' houses, why not turn it into a bonfire barbecue for your bad habits? As the fire crews douse the wreckage with hoses that sound like a pissed-off dragon, officers spot the real treasure trove, baggies of cannabis spilling out like confetti from hell, tucked under seats and in door panels. Possession charges stack up thicker than the smoke cloud hanging over Ybor City, with drug paraphernalia scattered everywhere, bong shattered like his dreams, grinders fused to the floor mats, and enough paraphernalia to outfit a Grateful Dead revival tour. The suspect? He's cuffed and Mirandized right there on the curb, the acrid stench of weed burning off into the evening breeze, while traffic backs up for miles and drivers honk like it's his personal theme song. Hypothetically, imagine him thinking, well shit, the fire alarm's just my wake-up call, as the K9 unit sniffs out more greens hidden in the trunk, fresh enough to make you wonder if he was growing hydroponics in the spare tire well. Tampa's finest move in hours, not days, because multiple calls turned this from a fender bender to a felony fiesta, the kind where the arson investigator's gloves come away smelling like a head shop exploded. Now, rewind a bit, because the calls started pouring in before the car even hit critical mass. Neighbors in the high-rises spot smoke wisping from the BMW parked crooked on a side street, the engine humming like a hive of angry bees on bath salts. One caller's yelling about a suspicious sedan with tinted windows and a haze inside. Another swears they saw the driver lighting up what looked like a victory joint. Cops swarm like ants to a picnic, radios crackling with updates, suspect matching description, 29, disheveled, reeking of regret, and within an hour, they've got him pinned. Side characters steal the show, the tow truck guy muttering about another joyride gone wrong, the barista across the street handing out free coffees to gawkers, all while the suspect's staring at his charred kingdom, probably calculating how many DoorDash deliveries it'll take to replace that custom stereo now melted into slag. Turns out this wasn't just a random blaze. The suspect's got priors for petty theft and possession, turning what could have been a slap on the wrist fire into a full-blown possession pile-on. He's hauled off to the station in a cruiser that smells like stale donuts and justice, the BMW towed away as Exhibit A in a case that's more pot calling the kettle black than anything. The downtown cleanup crew's out there at dawn, scraping char from the pavement, the air still tangy with that unmistakable skunkweed afterburn, while the suspect's in holding, plotting his next move, maybe a bicycle empire. Ironic logic at its finest, he tried to hotbox a luxury liner, ended up with a felony hotbox of his own, proving that in Florida, your ride's only as good as your last toke. Multiple calls sealed his fate quicker than a roach clip in a microwave, leaving Tampa PD high-fiving over another win against vehicular vice. In the end, this blaze of misguided glory fizzles out with the suspect facing charges that burn hotter than his sedan ever did, a poetic pileup of poor planning and prohibited puffs. What a way to crash and burn. Leave it in the comments. Hit that subscribe button because God only knows what insane shit I'm going to dig up next time.